Are you looking for your best teacher in recovery?
Well, it's really easy to find, and in this episode, we're going to tell you why experience may be the best teacher any of us have. Well, it's July 3rd, and it's time for another double shot from My Sober Truth, the best teacher in recovery. I already let the cat out of the bag, knowing it's experience, but there was that one line we saw that experience isn't the best teacher, it's
The only teacher.
the only teacher. And so I could talk about this for hours, but Sean, I'm going to dive in and I'm going to ask you a simple question.
Okay.
And it's this: how has learning by experience shaped and guided your recovery journey?
When I came into this, I had a lot of trust issues, all sorts of misgivings, ways that I didn't trust people. I didn't trust myself, so it was really hard to put any trust in anyone else because I knew I couldn't trust myself. So, I didn't have a lot of experience in doing the right thing.
Right.
I'd been doing the wrong thing for a lot of years.
Right.
And so it was a process that I had to start, but I had the willingness to start. I didn't want, my sponsor used to always say, I might not have been sure if I wanted any of what you guys had, but I was damn sure that I didn't want any more of what I had.
Exactly.
So that's where I was.
Right.
I didn't want any more of what I had. So I was willing to listen to what someone else said and try it. I mean, what did I have to lose? At that point, I wanted to kill myself anyway. So I may as well listen to someone else and see if it'd help.
Right.
Thank goodness I picked the right thing to listen to.
Correct.
So, with all of my trust issues and everything else, it had to start small for me. And it started with just, in the rehab that I went to, you had to make your bed every morning. You did these, they started you out with these, when we got done eating breakfast, we washed your dishes. When we did all these things, you did these small steps to kind of relearn how to take care of yourself. And that's how far gone I was. I had forgotten how to take care of myself completely. Well, you start building on these small positives. And then I started working the steps in my life. I had to start answering these questions. And the more I did them, the better I felt.
Right.
And the better I felt, the more experience that I gained thinking, well, this worked. Let's try this next thing. That in turn brought about some faith that the next thing was going to work. I had experience saying, well, these things have worked here, so let me try them with this next thing. And I have some faith that that's going to work as well. It seems to be working the way they told me it was going to work.
Right.
And, that was the biggest thing for me is it didn't come all at once. And anyone just coming into recovery, that's kind of what I urge for anyone that's just trying to get started with this stuff. Do it a little bit at the time.
Right.
Go in with a whole heart and start.
Right.
Get going. Do the next right thing, as little as it may seem. Do the next right thing. Your life starts to change. And when your life starts to change, that mindset of, I went from thinking that the whole world was against me to thinking that the whole world is now with me. And it's an amazing thing when I really sit back and think about the difference in the mindset from where I was to where I am now. Right. Thinking that I go into any new challenge thinking, this is the right thing to do. Right. And if it is the right thing to do, because I try to, before I start planning to do something, I want to make sure that I think it's the right thing to do. But I don't feel like I'm going to be beat. I feel like I've got as good a chance as anybody to make whatever I want to make happen because I've had these little pieces of experience, these little learned lessons that over and over and over again have taught me that it works. This program, this plan works.
I love that concept of building on the wins.
Right.
The little wins, the baby steps, and taking the time to look back and say, oh, that worked for me.
Absolutely.
That worked for me. And so just to recap and just to reiterate what you said, all these baby steps, this cleaning your place, to making your bed, learning to take care of yourself, that experience taught you that you could trust the program.
Yep.
And as you started to do the step work and those were working for you, that experience said, hey, I'm got enough win here, I can take the next step.
That's right.
You know, for all of us who play video games, it's almost like that video game culture. You're building on the last win.
Yeah.
You're leveling up your personal skills, as it
That's
were,
right.
in that situation.
Absolutely.
So, you know, you know. So as we wrap up, I'm going to ask our viewers pretty much the same question I asked you, and I'd love to hear their response. And so, folks, how has learning by experience shaped and guided your recovery journey? We want to hear your stories, good, bad, ugly, but I'm sure your answer is going to help somebody else today, so be sure to write it down in the comments section below. And on that note, for My Sober Truth, I'm Mark.
Hey, and I'm Sean, and here's hoping that today you stay drunk with success. Love y'all.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you're thirsty for another round, then belly on up to mysobertruth.com and click on the double shot button today. There you'll find the encouragement, inspiration, and support that'll help you stay clean, on track, and prospering in every area of your life. Take a moment to subscribe to this channel, and if you got a minute, stick around. Let's watch another video together.